Good morning and welcome to Monday with the Moores. I am Terrence Moore.
Oh, good morning. I'm Cheryl Moore.
Oh man, let me tell you, that has been a very interesting couple of weeks for us. And I said, let me tell you, this COVID thing ain't playing. It is not playing. The first time I had COVID was last year in the fall, and that was already quite an experience. And one of my major things was like brain fog. I'm already kind of foggy already. That didn't help. That didn't help. The second time around, man, I thought that was like living in London or somewhere, because this brain fog wasn't playing, and still dealing with that. And then I'm trying to get, past did the whole 5 days isolation and then 5 days masked up and everything else. And I call myself, okay, let's try to get the body back in some motion. Let's do some walking and trying to do some, get back in the gym, trying to do a little bit of lifting or something. And man, my body was like, oh yeah, really? And I was telling Cheryl, you know what? I had to check my ego at that gym door. I had to listen to
Interesting door he checked.
Yeah.
The workout door.
Yeah. I don't check it anyplace else. Well,
I
theoretically,
didn't get COVID this time.
Yeah.
The first time I brought it home from campus. I brought COVID home.
You brought it home from work?
Well, yeah. I had a meeting with someone who was not feeling well and was determined to come to work. Was my boss, and she handed me some tissue because I had a dry eye, tearing up, and a few days later, 2 days later, I get an email, hey, I got COVID. I'm like, oh my gosh, so sorry for you. I'm working from home, and all of a sudden I get drastically sick. I didn't have it this time, but I also knew that it was on the rise. So, and to really just protect myself. And I also think it's with the healthy eating. I do a lot of D3, a lot of my vitamins, my natural vitamins. I can't take hard pills like that. A lot of gummy vitamins, and it was very different this time. We're still trying to figure out if it was really COVID or a cold. You can't really tell.
No,
I think it was because the brain fog,
positive.
the brain fog. But the treatments and the way that this is and I hear the stories too, right? We're now in the age living in our generation where they came up with things for different remedies and had to do vaccines for them years ago, so polio and things like that. So we are just grateful to God. Listen, so today's my first day as a free agent. Do you put it like that, a free agent?
That's a very nice way of putting it.
I don't know if I'm an agent, but
Well, what do you mean by that? Because everybody may not know. But I know quite a few of our friends do.
Right. So my position was eliminated at Alverno College, and I am grateful. I had a great time there. I didn't have to leave right away, so I was able to transition things for the fall. So I had the support work there for 3 years. Formerly, Cardinal Stritch, which is no longer with us, but tremendous colleagues there for over 16 years on the faculty side as a chair in administration, teaching, doing amazing things, same here. And now God has called for my next. And what is really interesting is nothing will ever catch you off surprise when the winds of the chariot of change, as I call it.
Yeah, I love that.
The chariot of change. I think I'll write an article about that. Comes upon your life, and
you heard it first here.
Right, you heard it here on the Mondays with the Moores. The chariot of change. When that comes, the chariot arrives. It's, it wasn't chaotic. It was really smooth. It was really with grace. I can't say that I exited the same way that I entered. So many good things. God just blessed me with so many wonderful relationships and friendships. across all color lines, all gender lines, and I am eternally grateful. In my area, in academia, you don't have a lot of, you have, the word colleague buzzes a lot. And it's really true because it's a certain standard amongst academians, researchers, scholars. And so, but this is different. This was a different that I think God wanted me. One, Black women, specifically African Americans, Black women that I had across lines that have still are my friends that I saw down hallways. I didn't have that before. And it's always, oh, you're the only one. And now I wasn't the only one. And
that's important to any workplace.
That's empowering, and it is important. And it was, not just an intentionality at the time of the institution, but it was just a gift from God. And so I really, for me, learned to move through life realizing the various gifts of God. Wow. And realizing that everything doesn't come in dollars and cents. It doesn't come in the way I want some. This is huge on partnerships too. We want people to behave a certain way.
Okay, break that one down.
Meaning, or do certain things that would satisfy what we think we need in our life. And this is really interesting. When I made the decision to decline and not accept what was offered to me, it's not that I couldn't do it. I could sleep and do it, but it wouldn't grow me, stretch me, get me it would take me off the career trajectory. And sometimes we get afraid to make those decisions because of our life responsibilities, what we have, what we don't have, and how we live our lives. And what was interesting was I literally looked flat in someone's face and said, you don't control my career. And that has been my motto of people trying to give advice, give insight, perspective that really are, and this is ignorance is not a bad word, but you simply don't know the path or the skill set, have any knowledge of what I do or the command center of my life. And that I will not lend out, borrow out, and a poor man's wisdom is despised. If you are not someone who
and that's not just talking about financial.
No, if you've not been where I'm at before, you really don't have anything to say to me. The best thing you can do is encourage me, say good words. And we really need to take that seriously.
That is kind of true, though.
We really need to take that.
Even in business, you can't really give me too much of business advice if you haven't been in business. It's like the person that said these give overall the structure of it. But
y'all, let me tell you something, especially these business owners, entrepreneurs, people the worst thing you can do is listen to your customers tell you your prices are too high.
And they don't know the cost of the product. And they don't know the
cost of the product, no business, no nothing. And you do things like that to appease people who don't have an understanding. Know. I have learned years ago.
But they'll spend a whole lot of money somewhere else for the same product.
But you see them buying your stuff, right? If you don't like the price, but the food is so good, then shut up and come up with the money. And if you ain't got the money, sit down somewhere till you
for real. You're just not in my customer base.
You're just not that one. And I, for years, struggled with that, trying to make amends, do things for free, discounting destiny.
But even what you were saying about the offering of this other opportunity, there was a level of discount as well.
Listen, I'm going to be talking about this in this little ebook I'm about to write. Part of the reason somebody asked me, well, what are you doing now? I'm in uncharted waters. That's a book. I have over 50 plus unfinished books. So I think this is a good time to finish a little short 10-pager. I should be able to knock that. Y'all paying attention in chat.
Not even an exaggeration.
Do you think I should be able to knock out a 10-page book this week? An ebook? If I wrote an ebook on Uncharted Waters, would y'all patronize it?
I just want her to finish.
$1.99.
No, you finished a few of them, but you wouldn't do anything with it.
I guess that's
and you got a gazillion of unfinished works. You remind me of like some musical artists or princes like had this huge volume of work that is in the vault.
Ooh, when I die, can we do collections of the unfinished?
when you die, you ain't gonna have much choice. I'm gonna bank off of your works.
First
What?
of all, I'm not dying.
I am going.
You know what, Chantel?
Look here.
And
speak,
I love you.
Speak,
and
woman
all.
of God. I am going
love
to
you.
bank on
Oh,
your
you can
work.
help me? Thank you.
You know she is with. She's on. Look, Charlotte. Look, I ain't playing. Look here.
Posting that posters.
That
vow
people till death do us part. Look here. If she go, I am going to bank off the vault. I'm opening up the vault, unlocking everything. Bam, bam, bam. Oh, that's making it rain. But yeah, bam, bam, bam.
This is why my publishing company got TJ and Josh on there right now. Which is another thing.
Look, I'll be telling them, look, yo, y'all getting a huge cut.
We established businesses and companies to leave to our kids. So, we established legacy to leave to our children. So let me tell you.
Go ahead, talk.
It is the uncharted waters, but also being black in the workplace. Like I have tons of things that.
Well, yeah,
but I really feel that it was time.
It is true, Chantel. Before she, look here. Let me tell you. The running thing is. No, you were look. Gonna have to pick you up off the ground. Yeah,
you don't understand, Chantel.
Look here,
you gotta listen to our youngest son tell the whole thing. My kid, you gotta listen to our son say it. They
said please.
They waited till he wasn't around and came to me.
Yeah, tell him.
Right. So this was a few years ago.
I know we're kind of going.
And actually, our youngest led the conversation. The oldest one just, Mom, what? Listen. I'll just know the way. Listen, we can't do much for Dad. We can't do this. You don't get to die first. You can't die first. I looked at TJ. I'm like, what are you talking about? She just said, Mom, we gotta live our life. We love you. We're gonna miss you, but we know the running joke around here is you're half human, right? Because I love supernatural. I love the Lord. And I mean, I know we both do, but I'm Pisces, I stay up in the clouds, the glory. So they said, I was like, what do you mean I can't die first? He goes, no, because Dad, we're going to have to put him on medications, suicide watch, give him a shot every day, keep him numbed up in the mind. Because this man ain't gonna be live life. So it's a real situation. Ain't gonna be. I think we're in a better place because we were like, whatever happens, the legacy and the work gotta go on. But they were like, with Terrence,
look here,
he gonna have to be on suicide. And Mom,
Cheryl will be in her mode. Cheryl will be in her mode. She'll go and be some recluse and be in her, she'll be at a piece and she'll have her moments. Me, I ain't there. No matter what.
They said Tara's got to be on suicide watch. Yo, I don't know if it's gonna be
not no suicide, but yeah, you got to drug me up. Insurance to take care of that.
Suicide watch.
Long-term somebody.
Oh, he's got to be on suicide watch.
Man. Okay. Like Fred Seven, Cheryl, I'm coming to join you with some chocolate and coffee in my hand.
Oh man, let me tell you something. I can't say thank you enough to the friends, the administrators, the colleagues. And let me tell you, I'm gonna do a shout out to her. Your girl Christy Brown put it down for me, right? Like with grace, and we had the most beautiful conversations.
That's president of Alabama College.
Most beautiful conversations. Sick, wasn't feeling well, determined not to let me leave before. You can't find somebody that human. I'm just saying God has people, because when you have transitions in your life, you don't need people worried about what people are saying about you.
That's
you
true.
need people who understand empathy,
Yes.
compassion,
Yes.
humanity,
Yes.
and the
Yes.
discord. One of the things I finally walked away with at this point, I'm like, Cheryl, you're 56. It's like it took me to the do or die moment of my life. Y'all don't get it, but y'all gonna understand when you arrive here. I had to look back at people.
Mm.
Yes, they are. When we recognize it,
Yeah, that's
listen,
true.
that part, right? The scary part wasn't me leaving her there. Because, most of all of the Black leaders are gone. Like,
The
but
Black leaders, yeah.
right. Let me tell you, I had to come to a do or die moment,
Mm.
and I'm there.
Mm.
It's like go big or go home.
Ooh, that's true.
And it truly is the moment where I had to sit down over these last few months and realize to myself, you are 56. Who told you you're going to have another 56 years here? The things that I have been allowing to creep and crawl, I have allowed my career. I don't know if y'all could identify with this. Put it in the chat. I have allowed my career to creep and crawl.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of allowing things to move in a pace that brings a legacy, prosperity, and a wealth for future generations, I allowed my path to creep and crawl. And I was in somewhat playing it safe until things shifted a few years ago.
Mm.
And I had to realize that God was like, you think I'm playing with you? And I knew, right? I was passively looking, ready to make another transition into bigger things because my big hinge is leadership development. I'm a builder, right? I'm a disruptor.
Hands down.
I'm not a demolitionist. That's another lie for another day, a builder. But let me tell you, I had
a
creeping and crawling.
Builder.
Yes. You got to know the difference between a disruptor and a demolitionist. That's on my career activist YouTube page that I'm going to start today. So finally, let me tell you.
Well, finish that. Go ahead and finish that treatment thought before you jump on another one, because that's what you're about to jump to.
I was creeping and crawling in my career. When y'all look at this live, y'all let me know what you feel about that, because I would not do things that I felt that would. The disruptor externally would not be disruptive internally. Ooh, can I say that again?
Say it again, baby. Say it again.
Hey.
That's
the disruptor. I compartmentalize my skill. I compartmentalize based on financial conditions and responsibilities here.
That is very true. Very true. It affects the house. But go ahead. I'm not going to go there yet.
And that was undergirded by fear. Of course, Chantel. It was undergirded by fear of what was playing in memory, right? Because the memory can't tell you let me get off my career activist. Your memory can't tell you the future.
Right.
Right? That is a faith walking journey of creating and doing what has not been done before in your destiny, right? Through your ancestry line. And that has hinged me. What will this do to my family? What will this do to our dreams? What will this do? And Terrence is steady over here going, if you don't get this done, we're going to be here just working on jobs.
Right.
And I'm too old to have a job. Come on, somebody, snap, crackle, pop. If you, Cheryl, somebody's going to ask this. Sacrifice.
It is
so true. And the devastation of that became that is exactly what I did. exhausted. I cannot even calculate the hours just in the last 3 years that I've spent of my life building and working in a field that I would never get the flourishing from.
Yo, these black women are preaching this morning.
It's about opportunities. It is about opportunity. Don't come to me about a job. It's about an opportunity.
Right. That's so limited anyway.
I am on my way back to what the word of the Lord someone gave me, course correction. I went too deep.
Excuse me.
Right? I went down to the ditch to dig, to plunge for water, and to say, oh, I want to retire from here. What the mindset, all these things had to be cracked and then crushed. So I just want to share that. I want to share that because it's a serious thing, because what it did, it put us out of alignment. Here now, we're out of alignment. This is a Rockefeller of entrepreneurship in every way. A man who is built for business development. And the fact that we're both in development, the career in the business.
And economic.
And I'm shifting off of course in terms of looking now, something I had never done before, going towards a path that I wasn't meant for. You can't be fair. I delayed things, and I didn't delay destiny, but the fact that it cost me more because I fell into a space of conditioning. I'm gonna say what the word of the Lord came to me from this problem. I have been conditioned to fail. Fail does not mean that what you're doing won't be successful. Failure is the fact that my feet are not moving forward in my own future.
And I like what you in your own future. And people will try to have so much say about your future, because a lot of people aren't going to see what your future is. Right. And sometimes those voices tend to be louder than they should be. We need to move into an area in a realm where that you are able to mute those voices that does not benefit you or does not serve you well at all, because it's not meant for everyone's understanding in the first place. It's your path. It's your future.
One of the things Christy said to me, girl, until you clear this, when you clear this, the next is. And that is so true, because you're doing this now. I've mastered it. I've done this. When a master is stuck in memory, you ever had it like a temper? We have a temper period, so it's a memory, right? It's a remembering. So a master should not be in memory mode.
Ooh.
Now I'll let that sit there.
That's good.
Terrence will say, Cheryl, you're doing all the talking this morning. But let me tell you,
no.
Master can't be in memory mode.
You know when to this be the co-pilot or the backseat.
And let me bring it to our partnership.
Yeah.
Whoever you're in partner with, you're wrecking their life. I'm causing my stagnation is not allowing him to shift. We're in partnership, right?
What affects one affects the other.
The drive. And we should be able to conquer.
Like, come on.
I should be able to conquer much territory. So my contribution to the legacy line is limited right now, because I'm not out and I don't have enough. It's dragging because I've been conditioned to calculate and count up the cost without looking at the unfounded fruit. Well, if y'all think that's a word, somebody say something. Even though this should be a recorded podcast, but let me tell you, I have been conditioned to calculate cost,
because that's what she would do.
Isn't that
every decision she make? Let me tell you, that pen is coming out.
Right, with my calculator.
That notebook is coming out.
I know.
And that calculator is coming out. It's gonna be like,
good morning, girl,
because it's like, okay, Terrence, if I do this, this is what's going to happen. Terrence, if I do this, and I'm going, what if you don't do it?
Right.
But you don't understand that. No, you don't understand. You don't understand, because I know, and like, girl,
Let me tell
woman,
you,
if you don't do this, we're not.
Mm.
It's meant for the next. It's meant for us to take calculated risk and faith risk.
Let me tell you.
Excuse me.
What we see is blinding. What we can see blinds us. And I truly look at numbers. I look at numbers so much. The numbers, look at the word numbers. You know what the first few letters are? N-U-M-B. Numb. Numbers will numb your future. And if you look at the greats,
that's a word.
I'm quite sure Jay-Z and others that have conquered these things did not. DJ Khaled, I follow him faithfully because of his commitment to his family, to his sons, his children, his honoring the queen of his life. Everybody got their problems, whatever. People can rumor about you all the time, but you got to make a move for you. You got to make a move out of memory. You got to make a move out of memory. When people start, they only have a memory of you. They do not own the future you. Now your girl done said it. It's 7:29. Hey.
That's a nice.
I hope
it,
that
honestly.
this is enriching.
That's a wrap up word right there.
People only have it's that memory. You got to get out of the memory foam, and the foam is your current finances. And I'm be on my career activist, you little YouTuber, blinging it because I have learned so much about the power of poverty, the poverty that helped me in my mind. I don't even want to get emotional, but I am. I own my vulnerability. The devil is a lie. No, don't email me, text me, call me with nothing about my tears and who I am. Because that is a part of what brought me the victory of freedom, being vulnerable, expressing empathy and compassion and nurturing me. When things stop nurturing you, then it is no longer serving you well. And that is the truth. But let me tell you, poverty mindset is only as powerful as you allow it. I would not step out on my own. God plucked me out. Do not get to the place where you won't step out because I'm like, who's going to buy it? What's going to happen? Da, 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 da. All these years for him to say, you think I'm playing with you? And right? You think I'm playing with you?
Let me show you that I ain't playing. I'm gonna disrupt you. I'm gonna disrupt the disruptor.
One of the most powerful things Tammy Belton Davis said, this is like a couple of years ago. A job pays your bills, but if you want a legacy, have your own. My God, and now I'm out of the scope of a job for opportunities. It's time. Opportunities are for legacy.
Out of the scope of a job and into opportunity.
Yes, you have to move out of that mindset, right? That is a religious rhetoric that really confines us. Listen, it's religious rhetoric full of restrictions. And now with that, we got to say goodbye. Goodbye. Good morning. But out of restrictions, if you're going to be out of, I hope this is taking you out of restrictions. Check your girl. Listen, because I'm coming out of, I had to have not a rude awakening. I was awakened. I wasn't woke. Right? Oh, woke. I'm woke.
Look at, and I want to also thank people on the other platforms. Somehow it's not technical difficulties, not allowing your comments to come through, but we do want to acknowledge many of you that did make the comments. But this is this power in transition and also the delay of how it can affect you personally and those in your sphere is very real.
Right.
And you cannot allow fear to delay you. You cannot allow voices that do not benefit you or does not contribute to your future to have that kind of effect on you. You have to mute those voices. It's so important for you as a believer, as anyone, to really hone in on what God has placed in your life and just be focused, be disciplined on that. It is going to be so important for legacy.
Yes.
for generations, and even make the mark that God designed you to be before He even brought you into your mother's womb. You are already designed and destined for the type of greatness that He has for you, not the greatness like someone else, but it's greatness for you.
Mm-hmm.
And you just listen to His voice that supports that type of destiny. Otherwise, you're going to be delayed and stuck. And the last thing you want to be is stuck.
Memory mode does not move you forward. That's the best thing.
That's it. Memory
mode does not move you forward. And that was a great learning message for me. That was a great memory. People can only speak to you from memory, but they can't speak to you from future. I made up in my mind, I'm 56. It's do or die. I'm all into the future. I need to do works from the future, not from memory. And that is the hinge. I hope that blesses someone. I was awakened. I wasn't woke. Girl woke. I am called to work from the future. What do I contribute in this earth realm? What do I leave that brings life from the future? From that future, what am I doing? And that is the hinge, because what it did in the partnership, I'm getting a course correction because it then conditioned this for conflict, for chaos, because it's not in sync. Because it's not in sync. And that's what happens. Now, what ends up happening when you are not moving forward and you're conditioned to calculate costs, you're conditioned to do these things. What happens is you get stuck there.
And don't start with the count up the costs. When it comes to certain things, some costs are very intangible.
What are you counting up the cost of? The cost of not doing it should be.
That's a cost.
That's a cost. And that's where the calculations went off. That's where I was in the negative. Right? I'm not paying attention to this. I'm trying to justify why I need to continue what I have been conditioned to do.
Let's leave it at that. Lord, we just thank you for this day. We appreciate all that you have done. We just thank you for all the shift and transitioning. God, we just put all trust has always been in you. And let this word, let this podcast just begin to really do a great work as it already has done. And we just appreciate your trusting us with this direction, God. We honor you in all things. In Jesus' name, amen. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, share. We'll be back next Monday, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. Be sure if you even watching the replay, like and share. We love you. We out. Peace. Hey, hey,